or travels. Sue Pirrett, Pacific Heartbeat nutritionist, and Mafi Funaki Tahifote, manager of Pacific Health, the Heartbeat team from the Heart Foundation, join us now on Pacific Breakfast for our weekly Pacifica Health Talanoa. This week, we have our final session in the series around tips for staying healthy during the lockdown time. Tāro for lover and a warm welcome, Sue and Mafi. Yay!
Hello,
Brian. Everybody, happy Samoan Language Week, and it's great to be here again through Zoom, to be zooming into this wet, dull-looking Auckland weather. I'm sure around the country is probably better, but it's great that we've got lots of water. Welcome to the Pacifica Health Talanoa. It is our last series, Brian, as you're saying, during lockdown, but looks like most of the month of June will be in lockdown. So, yes, Balangisu, great to see you in your kitchen. I am in my kitchen, but the dining end of the kitchen. And this morning we are going to be talking about Balangisu, some of the last tips for this lockdown period.
Yeah, talofa lava everybody, and hopefully everybody's siki tatou for Samoan Language Week.
Oh, sorry about you, Super. Yes, we're all sicky. Thank you.
And we're all siki in my kitchen as well. And yeah, Muffy, like you say, we've still got our big white friend in the kitchen at the moment, the cupboard in the pantry. And we're still in the lockup, sadly, and it looks like going to be another couple of weeks. So we may as well share a few more tips, Muffy, mightn't we?
Yes, and we do encourage the listeners out there. If you do have any questions, do give us a call with your question. 0800 000 531, and you can see it there if you're on Facebook with the number that Balangisu is holding up. And if you're on Facebook as well, if you want to put through on our live streaming, and Brian will let us know those questions, and Balangisu and I will try and answer those for you. Or maybe just comments about how you're doing during lockdown.
Yeah, we'd love some of their tips, wouldn't we, Muffy? Because, we're busy with our tips, but I'm sure all the mums out there and the dads have got heaps of tips that we could be learning as well.
Yes, and we also want to shout out as well during the month of May that it is Women's Heart Health. So some of the information and tips that we're going to be sharing is to look after our beautiful women and our mums at home, because usually we tend to look after everybody else but not ourselves. So yeah, just shouting out that those tips for mums to actually, and grandmothers or aunties, to actually use at home. So do you want to start with some of the tips that we've got this morning, Balangi?
Yes, and we thought we'd go on to those bags and packets and packages that we have in our great friend, the cupboard in the kitchen, or the pantry in the kitchen, because having some of those packets and bags and packages in there, maybe just getting one more packet or bag when you're on the weekly shop, can really help us just do some easy, quick meals, like we've talked about the frozen things and the jars and the cans. So my first one, Muffy, and probably you're better to talk about this because I know Pacific families absolutely love this one, and that's the vermicelli, the pasta and the brown rice. But I haven't got any vermicelli in my kitchen, but I'm hoping you have. Yeah, so this is a great packet to have on hand, isn't it?
Yes, and I'm sure even if I don't actually show it, I am at the dining table. It's one that I had not grabbed out of the big white box, my big white box, or the pantry, or the kopate. What is it in Samoan, Brian?
Ka poki.
La poki.
Ka poki.
La pote, or you call it kopate. It's actually brown. But what I've got here, Parangisu, is the spaghetti that we can use for pasta, spaghetti bolognese. This one here is a whole meal one.
Oh, well done, Muffy. I can see that loud and clear. And just that word whole means that it's still got that good F word in there, the fibre, hasn't it? It's got the roughage in there, or the little bits that get stuck in the teeth that help move the food through our body so we don't get blocked up, and it keeps us nice and full as well, doesn't it?
Yes, and it's also great for those who have diabetes
Yes.
because it is better for their blood sugar. So
Yes.
if they have this compared to having the normal white spaghetti
Yes.
pasta, then this will be better diabetes control. And I know for a lot of the Pacific women, I know for Tongans, a lot of our women have got diabetes. So
Yes.
this is a better choice for them. And if they look after their diabetes, Palangi Su, they also look after their hearts, don't they?
They do, and the family, and everybody wins, don't they? And
Uh,
Brian, have you ever seen that wholemeal pasta before when you've been doing the shopping for your lovely wife?
Yes, I'm sure on occasion. Unfortunately, though, I go with the regular non-wholemeal. But now that I've seen it, I will definitely look out for it on my next shopping trip. Thank you.
Some of the tips that we also give if they're not used to the slight different flavour of wholemeal is to have 50-50. So half of this and half of the other normal
Good
white
idea.
one.
Yeah.
So that's a tip that you could have.
And I know, Muffy, the other thing you can do that with is the brown rice, isn't it? And you know, much the same. The brown rice has got that roughage in that goodness in it that fills us up and helps stop us getting blocked up and constipated. So, have you got any brown rice in your kitchen today, or are you?
I do have brown rice, but right in my hand is wholemeal noodle, which
Okay.
we've shared before. So this is another choice. So what we're finding as well is a lot of the shops now have got a wholemeal version
Yeah.
of the original. But what you tend to find is that on the shelves, it's only a small part of the shelf that have them. So you do need to look a bit.
Do our exercise, don't we? We've got to be up. We've got to be looking down. Yeah.
And
So
the other great benefits as well,
Yes.
that wholemeal or that fibre, that roughage that you're talking
Yes.
about, Palangi Su, is also their bowel in terms of preventing cancer. And there's a bit of bowel screening happening. I know for counties, Manukau here in Auckland, there's a bowel screening program, and that could be also a benefit as well. So there's lots of benefits you can get by just making a different choice.
So the magic word I hear you saying, Muffy, is whole, isn't it? When you see that word whole or brown, brown's beautiful. So whole and brown is awesome. Yeah. So I've got some, this is just little packets of brown rice that I have for my lunch that you just throw in the microwave. I think they're about $1 a pot each. So no good for a big family, but good for lunches. But that's the brown rice, and you can get big bags of budget brown rice. And I thought that's a great tip that you suggested, to put half and half if you're not used to it.
Yes, but the tip for brown rice, I know that we had the cooking course when we were not in lockdown at Palangi Su, and the chef at New Zealand Management Academy in Mount Wellington, the chef showed our students how to cook brown rice, which takes a little bit longer. Yeah. So he kept adding the water into the brown rice as it was cooking. So that was a real tip for me, rather than the usual putting the water and the rice and then closing it with the lid. He kept adding and stirring. And when the water comes down, you keep adding more water. So it does need a bit more water than.
So a bit more time, a bit more water, but way worth it, you know.
That's right.
Because you don't eat as much, so you're not putting on the muffin top, and you're full, so it's costing less at the end of the day.
Sorry,
Have you ever tried the brown rice, Brian?
oh yes, this is one I can definitely put my hand up and say, yeah, we have got brown rice, and I've had brown rice a number of times. Very nice. But Sue, I've always wanted to ask, because you use this term a lot, muffin top. What does that mean? Is it in reference to maybe one's girth or size if they eat too much of good things or not so good things? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, probably. Do you remember about 5 years ago, we were all into those tight jeans, and then if you had it looks like the top of a muffin if you're baking a muffin, if it comes over the top of your jeans. Do you remember that? Yeah, so
No.
that's where that saying muffin top came from. Yeah, so it's just a bit of extra weight, really. Yeah.
Different Balangi Sue into our island words.
Like, if we see somebody after maybe a long time, and our island families, Palangi Sue, they're not shy. Oh, look at you! You look like an elephant. So they don't use, they don't use muffin top. They use real animal kingdom sort of words to describe. It. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I think Palangi Sue would get kicked off the show if she said that, though, wouldn't she? Okay, so we've had our brown rice, our brown pasta, and our vermicelli. So the next packet in our good friend, the pantry or the cupboard, is some porridge. And so I've got some easy cook oats here. Normally I just buy the pans one, but I think I said it last time or the time before. Everybody had hoovered them up out of the supermarket at the beginning of the lockdown. Because the pans or the home brand or the budget brand, they're just as good and they're a lot cheaper, and can feed a lot of people in the household. So this is my one. It's nearly finished. I'm off to get my pans tonight or tomorrow. But for me, I just put it in a bowl, about 3 tablespoons. I cover it with some milk, stir it up, whack it in the microwave for a minute, give it another little stir. Do another 30 seconds, and then I might bring it out and just throw some yogurt and a piece of fruit or a banana or something on it. And all the kids in the family could be, if they have a microwave, could be doing that themselves. It's such a warm, cheap, healthy, it's got that roughage in it again, breakfast. It's just awesome. So everybody could be doing their own. I know Mum often has the big pot of the porridge, and that's great. But if it's Mum's Heart Month this month, and we want to take care of our mum, so we can be doing our own porridge in the microwave. How do you do yours, Muffy?
Yeah, we do ours in a big pot.
Yeah, which you might with all the children.
Yeah. Or if not everybody's having porridge, then yeah, we do it the way you do it.
Yeah.
So. I've also got in front of me, we've got some flour.
Yes.
I've got the plain white flour, but there's also the wholemeal.
Yep, and I've got some wholemeal here. The
there we go.
There you go. We've both got the Pam's cheap brand, and they're just as good, aren't they?
Yes. So you can actually throw that in when you're actually cooking at home. And we've got potatoes and onions that you can also have. But something else that we could also show is Edam cheese. When you're actually cooking, this is a 1 kilo, usually cheaper when you're having bulk as well.
Yeah, and you can grate it and freeze it as well. And I've got a couple of other things, Muffy, for packets and packages. Brown bread crumbs are handy to have. Buy a packet of brown breadcrumbs if you want to coat the fish or the chicken. So you do your home fish and chips or your home KFC. That's a good one. I've also got, these are really good, just some curry powder to make your curries. That's instead of having all the spices. You don't really need all the spices if you've just got good old curry powder.
Curry powder. Yeah.
And that's and I know that Pacific love their chilies too, don't they? So it's handy having in the cupboard some chili.
Yeah, definitely. When we talked about rice before, there is a recipe on our YouTube channel that the chicken fried rice, and having the extra package of mixed vegetables, throw that in when you're making it. So yeah, do visit our YouTube channel, search Heart Foundation, and it will bring up recipes, and within the Heart Foundation channel, select chicken fried rice. But I know that we are coming to the end of the program, Palangi Sue. We've shared lots of information and packages in there, but do reach out to us on website or a YouTube channel or Pacific Heartbeat NZ Facebook page.
A very big thank you, whawhataitele lava, to our Pacific Heartbeats, Sue Pirret and Muffy Funaki Tahifote. Always a pleasure to speak with you, ladies, whawhataitele lava, and have a great week, and thank you so much for the awesome information that you always share. Have a great week. Ia manuia lava le aso, tō whāsoifua.
Tofa.
Seki Sue, come on. It is 11 minutes to 9.